Take advantage of. Take advantage of.
Robert took advantage of the nice weather and went for a walk in the park.
That's the fourth time Harry has borrowed money from me.
He's taking advantage of you. I don't think he's a true friend. Take after. Take after.
Lisa takes after her mother. She has the same nose and the same blue eyes.
You don't look like your mother at all.
No, I tend to take after my father. Take a look at. Take a look at.
Billy asked his father to take a look at his essay before he handed it in to the teacher.
Would you take a look at these reports for me?
Sure. I'll review them after lunch to make sure they're in order. Take a seat. Take a seat.
The interviewer asked the woman applying for the job to take a seat. Then the interview began.
I was wondering if I could have a word with you about something.
Sure. Take a seat. Is it serious? Take a walk. Take a walk.
Michael and Laura took a walk along the river after dinner.
It's such a nice day. Shouldn't we do something outside?
Let's take a leisurely walk through the park. Take care of. Take care of.
Norman took care of his mother's plants while she was away on holiday.
I'm working too hard. I'm always tired, and I haven't been eating properly.
You have to start taking better care of yourself. You'll have a heart attack. Take down. Take down.
While the professor lectured, the students took down a few notes.
Ms. Sherman, I have a few tasks I need you to do this afternoon.
Sure, just let me take them down on paper so I don't forget. Now, where is my pen? Take something for granted. Take someone for granted.
Sam took his job for granted. He thought his position was secure, so he became lazy, and, as a result, his boss fired him. But surely your husband must tell you how beautiful you are every day.
I'm afraid Richard takes me for granted these days. He's become too used to me.
Take into account. Take into account.
When Michael was budgeting his expenses, he forgot to take his insurance into account.
There's no way I can live on $1,000 a month.
I'm sorry, I didn't take into account the fact that you have a family to support. Take off. Take off.
Paul took off his boots in the doorway so he wouldn't get the floor dirty.
Take your sunglasses off while you're in the classroom.
I'm sorry, I forgot that I had them on. Take off. Take off.
Laura's plane takes off in 10 minutes. If she hurries, she'll still be able to catch her flight.
Where did David go? He was here a minute ago.
I'm not sure. He took off without saying goodbye. Take off. Take off.
Brian took some time off work so he could be with his family.
I've worked 2 straight weeks trying to finalize this business deal. I'm stressed out.
Maybe you should take some time off. Why don't you go on vacation? Take one's time. Take one's time.
Sarah took her time getting to work in the morning. She was in no rush.
Oh no, I'm finished with the first part of the exam, but I still have to write the essay.
Take your time. You still have an hour left. Take out. Take out.
On his way to work, Paul took out the garbage.
What are you doing tonight? I'd like to take you out for dinner.
That's very kind of you, but I'm afraid I have other plans. Take over. Take over.
After Bob quit his job, Don took over his position at the firm. What do you plan to do with this giant laser gun, Mr. Bryan?
I'm going to launch it into space and then take over the world.
Take part in. Take part in.
How many countries took part in the Olympics last year?
Excuse me, would you like to take part in a survey about advertising?
I'm sorry, but I'm in a rush. I'm afraid I can't participate. Take pity on. Take pity on.
Howard took pity on a stray dog he found wandering on the street. He took him home, fed him, and cleaned him up. I can't believe Laura broke up with you. I feel sorry for you.
Please, don't take pity on me. I'll be all right.
Take place. Take place.
This story takes place in a small town in New York State. It was the 1930s, and everyone was poor.
Do you want to go to a rock concert tonight?
Sure. Where is it taking place? Take turns. Take turns.
Jane and her sister take turns doing the dishes. Jane washed them yesterday, so that means her sister will wash them today.
Who's going to rock the baby to sleep every night?
Let's take turns. I'll do it one night and you'll do it the next. Take up. Take up.
Howard took up lawn bowling after he retired. He wanted a hobby to pass the time.
I'm thinking of taking up smoking. It looks so cool.
Are you crazy? You'll get cancer and die at an early age. Talk back. Talk back.
Billy talked back to the teacher and was sent to the principal's office.
I always have to take out the garbage. Why don't you do it?
Don't talk back. As long as you're living under my roof, you'll do as you're told. Talk over. Talk over.
Before taking any further action, the Johnsons decided to talk matters over with their lawyer.
I have a proposal for our new advertisement campaign.
Let's talk it over during lunch. I have a meeting right now. Tear up. Tear up.
Katie was angry with the poor marks she received. She tore up her test and threw it in the garbage.
What should I do with these old newspapers?
Tear them up into little strips. We can use them in art class. Tell on. Tell on.
Lisa told on Billy for cheating on his exam. As a result, the teacher gave Billy a failing mark.
Did you lie to Mom and Dad about your homework?
Yes, but please don't tell on me. They'd be so angry if they found out. Tell someone off. Tell someone off.
Michael was very angry with his brother. He told him off in front of all the guests.
I heard that Danny was expelled from school. What happened?
He told off the teacher and was sent to the principal's office. Tell time. Tell time.
In the first grade, Mrs. Jackson used a clock to teach the pupils how to tell time.
It's already 12:30 p.m.
Can't you tell time? It's not 12:30. It's 1:45 p.m. Tick off. Tick off.
Paul gets really ticked off when people don't listen to him. He gets so angry he could scream.
How dare you say that? I could punch you in the nose.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to tick you off. Think of. Think of.
Sarah couldn't think of the answer to the last question on the test, so she left it blank.
Our problem could be solved if we hired an expert.
I didn't think of that. That's a very good idea. Think over. Think over.
Brian was offered a better position in the company, but he would have to relocate to a different country. He needed to think it over before he made a decision.
I was wondering if I could have my own office.
Let me think it over. I'll get back to you next week. Think through. Think through.
Tom didn't think his plan through carefully enough. As a result, he was unsuccessful.
I'm going to quit my job and open up a business that sells nothing but back scratchers.
Have you thought this through? It doesn't sound like a wise decision. Think up. Think up.
Peter needed to think up a marketing strategy for his new product.
Who thought up the idea of starting a carpool to work?
Michael proposed it to his colleagues, and they thought it was a good suggestion. Throw away. Throw out.
David threw away his old clothes because they didn't fit him anymore.
I'm going to put these old newspapers in the garbage.
Don't throw them out. They're recyclable. Throw out. Throw out.
Thomas was thrown out of the restaurant because he punched the waiter.
Those people over there are drunk. They're being loud and rude.
I'll ask the owner to throw them out. Throw up. Throw up.
Jane was sick with the stomach flu. She was throwing up all weekend.
Smell this milk. Has it gone sour already?
Oh, my, it's horrible. I think I'm going to throw up. Tire out. Tire out.
The kids chased the stray dog around the playground until they were all tired out.
What's wrong? You look exhausted.
I was babysitting the kids and they tired me out with their games. Touch on. Touch on.
During the meeting, Richard touched on the subject of taxes, but he didn't go into too much detail.
Did the president talk about unemployment during his speech?
He touched on it, but he talked more about health care. Try on. Try on.
Paul tried on the jacket to see if it fit. Then he bought it.
That's a nice hat. May I try it on?
Sure, but I'm not sure if it will fit you. It's quite large. Try out. Try out.
Peter tried out for the basketball team, but he didn't make it. He was too short.
The school is starting a football team. Are you going to try out?
I'd like to, but I don't think they would accept me. I'm not very good. Turn around. Turn around.
When Jack sneezed in class, everyone turned around and stared at him.
I have a big bump on the back of my head. It hurts.
Turn around and let me have a look at it. Turn around. Turn around.
The business wasn't making any money until they hired a new manager. He turned the company around, and now they're making a profit.
It's a good thing the coach found that new quarterback. We're finally winning games.
I know. He's really turned this team around. Turn down. Turn down.
The music was too loud, so Sarah turned the volume down.
Turn down that TV. I can't hear myself think.
It's just the commercials. They're always that loud. Turn down. Turn down.
Tim asked for a promotion, but his boss turned him down.
Did you ask Lisa to marry you?
Yes, but she turned me down. She said she didn't love me enough to marry me. Turn in. Turn in.
Brian turned in his essay 2 days late. As a result, the teacher gave him a lower mark.
When are you going to collect our homework assignments?
You can turn them in tomorrow morning. Turn in. Turn in.
Before turning in, Michael set his bedside alarm and brushed his teeth.
I'm very tired. I think I'll turn in.
Me too. I could use a good sleep. Turn in. Turn in.
To avoid a company scandal, Robert turned his partners in to the police.
I've committed the most horrible crime.
If you turn yourself in, you'll get a lighter sentence. Turn into. Turn into.
Jack used to be a nice guy, but after he lost his job, he turned into a mean man.
Do you think Lisa is a witch?
She must be. She turned into a black cat right before my eyes. Turn off. Turn off.
Jane turned the lights off before she went to bed.
It's too cold in here.
I'll turn the air conditioner off. Turn on. Turn on.
David sat down on the couch and turned on the TV.
Can you turn the radio on? I'd like to hear the news.
It's broken. You'll have to watch the news on TV instead. Turn up. Turn up.
Peter couldn't quite hear the TV, so he turned up the volume.
Oh, I love this song.
Me too. I'll turn the radio up so we can enjoy it more. Turn up. Turn up.
We didn't expect Laura to come to the party, but she turned up anyway.
Have you seen Katie lately? I haven't heard from her.
Actually, she turned up at my place this morning. She just got back into town. Up to date. Up to date.
Tom read the newspaper on Sunday mornings so he could get up to date on what was happening in the world.
My computer software is 5 years old.
That's not very up to date. You should buy the latest version. Wait for. Wait for.
Harry had to wait for the bus for 25 minutes before it finally came.
I rented a movie. Do you want to watch it right now?
Let's wait for Kathy to join us. I think she would like to see it. Wait on. Wait on.
At the restaurant, we were waited on by a friendly man in a black tie.
Sit down, dear. I'll bring you something to eat.
Oh, how I love to be waited on. Thank you. Wait up for. Wait up for.
Laura felt sleepy, but she wanted to wait up for her husband before going to bed.
Don't wait up for me. I'll be out late.
Okay, but not too late. You have school tomorrow. Wake up. Wake up.
Tom usually wakes up early every morning so he can go for a jog before work.
Did you know that Brian is still sleeping?
You better wake him up. He'll be late for school. Watch out for. Watch out for.
Before you cross the street, watch out for traffic.
Watch out for that man on the bicycle.
Thanks. I almost didn't see him. I could have run him over. Wear down. Wear down.
Lisa pestered her father every day to take her to Disneyland. Finally, she wore him down and he agreed to go.
How did you wear down the tread on these tires?
I was driving on rough roads. I'll have to get new ones soon. Wear out. Wear out.
Ray bought new shoes because his old ones were worn out. They were almost falling apart.
How long have you had that baseball glove?
Almost 10 years. It's so worn out, I should buy a new one. Wear out. Wear out.
Kathy's kids wore her out today. She played games with them until she was so tired that she had to take a nap.
Do you want to play one more game of tennis?
You're wearing me out. Let's play again next week. Wind up. Wind up.
Jane received a music box for her birthday. She could wind it up and it would play a song.
Do you know what time it is?
My watch stopped. I guess I forgot to wind it up. Wind up. Wind up.
Can we wind up this meeting? It's almost time for lunch.
Tomorrow is our last soccer game. What should we do to celebrate?
Let's wind up the season with a big party. Work out. Work out.
I knew if we were patient and played our cards right, everything would work out.
I can't work out this math problem. Can you have a look at it?
That's a difficult one to solve. Maybe the teacher can help. Work out. Work out.
Dan tries to work out at least once a week. He lifts weights at the gym. You're getting a little fat around the stomach.
I know. I need to work out more. Perhaps I'll start doing sit-ups.
Would rather. Would rather.
Howard plans to work all summer, but he would rather take a vacation.
Would you like to have hamburgers for lunch?
I'd rather eat a salad. It's less fattening. Wrap up. Wrap up.
William wrapped himself up in a winter jacket and a scarf. It was cold outside.
I'm going to get the kids ready for school.
Make sure you wrap them up in some warm clothes. It's winter weather out there. Wrap up. Wrap up.
Can we wrap up this discussion soon? It's getting late.
Is the president almost done with his speech?
I think he's about to wrap it up. He's summing up his key points. Write down. Write down.
Write down your email address. I'll contact you when I'm back in America.
My last name is Mickelson.
Could you write that down for me? I want to be sure I have the correct spelling. Write up. Write up.
The police officer wrote Bill up for speeding. He handed him a ticket for $100.
I don't have a bus ticket. Are you going to write me up?
I'm afraid so. You'll have to pay a fine. Yearn for. Yearn for.
All his life, Jack yearned for the chance to become a famous movie star. When he turned 40, he finally got what he wanted.
I'm yearning for something sweet to eat.
I have a chocolate bar in my purse if you want it.